Hey guys, today I will be telling you about why concussions are becoming a huge problem in the NFL. And I first want to start off by saying what rules the NFL is changing. So, first, the NFL approved the broadening of the helmet hit rule that will penalize players who lead with the crown of their helmet to initiate contact against an opponent on any play. NFL Competition Committee Chairman Rich McKay announced the offending player will be penalized 15 yards and may be ejected depending on the severity of the hit. The league said they felt it's time to make the change in order to better protect players and their safety. Also, with that being said, two of the major changes are happening on special teams. The thing that's changing with special teams is on kickoff. Players will no longer be allowed to return the ball due to people running down the field and leading with the crown of their helmet to try and make the big hit. So what will happen is the player will return the ball and they will automatically get the ball at the 25-yard line. Also, with punt, the players will no longer be allowed to run down the field. Once the ball is snapped, they actually have to wait for the ball to be kicked in order before they can run down and make the play. Also, another big thing that the league's trying to do is if the league notices big hits or notices a guy's out of it, they won't ask him any questions. It will automatically take him into the tent. So the NFL has a big blue tent on the sidelines at every game, and in that tent they have all the things to take you through concussion protocol. They'll make you take a test, and if you're good to go, they'll return you to the game. If you're not, they'll take you further on into testing and stuff like that. So those are the big changes and rules the NFL is changing on that. Also, the next thing is helmets. Helmets in the NFL, there's a lot of controversy about them. One of the big things is the Speed Flex. The Speed Flex is supposed to be the best helmet on the market as of right now, and it's supposed to prevent concussions. But the thing with that is, if it prevents concussions, why doesn't the league force all players to wear this helmet? Well, here's why. They wear helmets which one might assume cuts down on their concussion risk, although that isn't true. That's not the point exactly. And this isn't old news, I guess you would call it, but researchers have known for years that helmets actually don't do a great job of preventing concussions. In fact, most researchers agree they could actually have the opposite effect. Wearing a helmet, studies suggest, can often make athletes more likely to use their head as a weapon to initiate the hit, because they will lower the crown of their helmet. And so with that being said, it's far more likely to protect their head if they go into a hit without false security of a helmet. So basically, what this is saying is the league is against wearing helmets, I guess you could say. The league says helmets are bad because it just forces players to make the harder hit and want to make the harder hit to make it look better on TV, but that's not necessarily it. Like, it's supposed to protect them, but the players are using it more as a weapon instead of to protect themselves. Next, I'll be telling you about some players that have dealt with concussions and now it's coming back to haunt them later on in their lives, I guess you could say, because of how many concussions they had and what they live with because of these concussions, what some of the old professional athletes have to go through because of what they've been through playing the sport. So many players affected by CTE have been professional athletes, but others have also been affected by or live with the possibility of having CTE. In July 2011, Colts tight end John McKay died after several years of deepening symptoms of frontotemporal dementia. I'm not too sure what that is, but Buzzum was reported to be planning to examine his brain for signs of CTE. The brain bank found CTE in his brain post-mortem. So he basically is living with CTE, and he is suffering from CTE. Also, another story is on July 27, 2012, an autopsy report concluded that the former Atlanta Falcons safety Ray Sterling, who died from suicide, had CTE. With him, he was so tired of the disease that he actually took his own life because he was suffering and he didn't want to live like that anymore. It's something he had to put up with every day, and it's not what he wanted to live with, so he ended up taking his life. And so that's the story about the safety from So next I will be telling you about the Heisman Trophy winner and former All-Pro Bo Jackson. He's a very well-known player, and the league interviewed him in 2017. He was also interviewed with USA Today. That what he had told them is that if he had known about the risks of CTE, he would have never played football in the NFL, or football in general, because he suffers every day from this disease, and CTE is a terrible disease. It's what you get if you have too many concussions or too much brain damage. You forget things, and it's just a huge mess. So he actually regrets playing football because of what he lives with now. And with all this being said, the league is just trying to help out the younger players for their future and look out for them, because they don't want to see the young guys suffering like these older guys are. And I guess it's a good thing you can say, because the league is very concerned about it, but it's also something that if you make up too many rules, it'll take away the purpose of the game, and that's what the NFL isn't trying to do. I actually read an article about how the NFL is trying to take away helmets, like I said before, but they can only do so much because otherwise it wouldn't be a sport anymore. It'll be such a big change. There'd be no money involved into it, and that's about it. That's all I have to say about the concussions with dealing with football and everything that happens that people don't know about.